Those that are looking for Kabbalah, the first thing that they find when they find Kabbalah is the tree of life. But disgracefully, there's a lot of literature that is pretty complicated. I would like to explain to you what the tree of life is all about in a way that anyone can understand the tree of life. What is the tree of life? The tree of life is the world of the soul. On the contrary, the tree of knowledge of good and evil is the world of the physical, the body. In Hebrew, the tree of life is called Etz HaChaim, and it's related to the different levels of the soul, which are Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yahida. These levels of the soul also correspond to the four worlds of the soul, which are Olam HaAsiyah, Olam HaYetzirah, Olam HaBriya, and Olam HaAtzilut. Olam HaAsiyah is the physical world that we know. It's also called the universal world of karma, or astrological tikkun. Olam Yetzirah, the world of the angels. Olam HaBriya, the world of the superior angels. Olam HaAtzilut, the world of the names of God. To understand what I'm trying to say, imagine a funnel that the divine consciousness begins to deconcentrate itself until it reaches the physical world. An example will be the ice cube, which is in the physical. But if we heat it up, it turns into water. If we heat it up even more, then it turns into vapor. And if we heat it up even more, it will turn into plasma, fire. That is to say that it decondenses, concentrates, or condenses, reduces from ice to fire, or fire to ice. There is a process of condensation or decondensation. The divine consciousness functions through the different worlds of the tree of life, condensing from Atzilut to Asiyah. Olam Atzilut means emanation. Olam Asiyah means fabrication. In the middle we have the worlds of transition, which is Olam Briya, which means world of creation. Olam Yetzirah, which means world of formation. We can now see how the divine consciousness begins to thin down as it reaches the physical world. Why is it named the tree of life? Because it's a great archetype that will give us an image that will help us to understand the world of the soul. But remember that in Kabbalah, the tree of life is an archetype that is upside down, where the roots are in the sky, in heaven, and its fruits are here on earth. Just like the physical tree here on earth, the roots cannot be seen since, since they are underground, they are hidden. Therefore, the roots of the spiritual are also hidden. They're occult. Now, these roots from this tree called the tree of life originate from the divine consciousness, which is pure energy. So the tree has various facets. Just like we talked about the different worlds, Olam HaAtzilut, Olam HaBriya, Olam HaYetzirah, Olam HaAsiyah, the tree of life also has its components. The world of the roots, the trunk, the branches, leaves, and the fruit being our physical world. We can say that this divine world can begin to condense in a way that it begins to be perceived by our five senses that are called Olam HaAsiyah, the physical world. But we must understand that the root of everything that happens here in the physical, the roots are in Olam HaAtzilut, in the spiritual world. It is the origin of all that occurs in our lives. In a manner, as the people that have not studied the world of the soul do not understand this world. We have to understand that the world that we live in, which is Olam HaAsiyah, is a feminine world. It only receives the light from a world that is a giver, a masculine world. What is a world that gives? It's the spiritual worlds, Olam HaAtzilut, Olam HaBriya, Olam HaYetzirah. All of the worlds are givers, and there's only one that is feminine, which is our world, Olam HaAsiyah, the world that receives. We have said that the tree of life is the world of the soul, and the world of the secrets of heaven. This world is accented by the predestination and the deception that our imagination provokes when it is not dominated or directed according to the Kabbalistic meditations. That is to say, that imagination turns wild and it takes us to a world that is full of fear and chaos, with an erratic conduct and desperation. On the other hand, if we work our imagination through Kabbalistic meditations, which penetrate the world of Absolute, meaning emanation, we correct our imagination and we enter a world of plenty. The only tangible real world, away from the illusion that doesn't fool us, is the tree of life, the world of the soul. All other realities are the illusions. They are liars, and they trick us. Now let's try to understand the tree of life, which is based on condensers. From the impure energy, which is called Ketter, to the physical world called Malchut. This pure energy begins to condense. We're not going to explain all the Sephirot, which are all transformers of energy. We're going to only explain 4: Ketter, Chokhmah, Bina, which are the first from Olam Absolute, which are givers. And we will also explain the physical world, which is Malchut, which is where we live in. Ketter. Ketter is the divine consciousness, the consciousness as of God. It contains all the souls. It contains all the archives. It contains all of our information in regards to reincarnation. It's the universal memory. That memory of all the universes and all dimensions. Chokhmah, the world of wisdom. It's the consciousness of the universe. It's a little less condensed than Ketter. Bina, called intelligence. It is an intelligence that makes it possible the distribution and transit of the divine consciousness to the worlds that are more comprehensible until it reaches our world, which is called Malchut. Malchut, it is us, living in the physical world. In reality, we are an archive of the memory of the Holy One, blessed be He, the divine memory. This archive comes to live in this physical body that has 2 types of lives. One that attaches itself to the tree of life, or a body that attaches itself to the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If we attach ourselves to the tree of life, we will have a proactive life with plenty. If we attach ourselves to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is the world of the physical, which all we do is to satisfy the request of the body, we will have an animalistic life based on illusion, which will be reactive, that would take us to fear, chaos, and depression. It's better to attach ourselves to the tree of life. Who are we? We are explorers. Explorers of what? Emotions, all type of emotions, from the happiest to the saddest. And this is how we come to live in this game called life. We live in the game of life. Then finally, the divine archive came down to earth to live his experience as an explorer. He enriches himself from all the experiences of this life. And once he's enriched, he returns back to Ketter, the divine consciousness. And that is the tree of life.